to the final score with Stevie Fly.
What's up, guys? It is Monday night. We usually don't do a Monday night show, but man, this week is a busy week for On the Fly and the Final Score. We got 4 podcasts this week. Looking forward to it. And where did he go? As soon as I get him on here, he disappears. But tonight, I guess, I don't know if he's got stage fright or what, but tonight, joining me live from Woodland, North Carolina, to talk a little NHL and some Olympic hockey, which we haven't, guys, I said it before my live. If you watched my live reel yesterday, I'm not a big hockey fan. I follow it when it's Stanley Cup time. I don't know where he went to. I don't know if we'll see if he can get back in here. But Stanley Cup time, here he comes. I think. You there? Some technical difficulties. I love it. We sat here and talked for 20 minutes, and as soon as it starts, we have technical difficulties. But we have, I don't follow it like some people do, including John Michael here. Here he comes. Look at that ugly mug. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
What in the world? Hold on. We did have this problem earlier, and he did something that I don't know what happened where he got out of here, but we'll get it fixed. How about now? Can you hear me now? Hello? Hold on. But anyway, tonight, this is the plan tonight, but I'm gonna have to mute myself for a second. This is what happens when you go live.
All right, there we go.
All right, you hear me? So technical difficulties are gone, I hope. But like I said, I don't watch hockey as much as some people do, including the guest tonight, who is over there in Woodland, North Carolina, John Michael Timberlake. What's up, dude?
What's going on?
We've been talking about this for a while, bringing him on the show because he wanted to talk some hockey, and like I said, we needed to find a perfect reason to get him on here and talk. And the first thing that came up when we started talking about it was, let's do it this week because it'll be the second half of the NHL season. He can give his thoughts on what he thinks is going to happen the second half of the season. And then it just worked out with the gold medal game yesterday. Of course, unless you've been living under a rock, and if you don't like sports, I don't know why you would be in here watching this, but the United States gets the win in the gold medal game 2-1 over Canada in a classic game. First comment of the night, of course, James Pope. How about them Tar Heels? What's the score right now, John? I know you're watching.
33-29. Heels are up.
Okay.
5 minutes left in the first.
So before we get into the and I've lost my daggone spot here. Before we get into that, there was some breaking news a few minutes ago. Let's see. Gunnar Rivers. Does that name sound familiar, guys? Gunnar Rivers is the son of legendary NFL and soon-to-be Hall of Fame quarterback Phillip Rivers, who went to college at NC State. Gunnar Rivers has committed to NC State now. He's going into his senior year, and his junior year, Rivers completed 237 of 343 passes for 3,176 yards, 46 touchdowns, and just 5 interceptions. He's the 42nd ranked prospect in the country, 6th ranked quarterback in the nation, and the top player in Alabama, according to 247 Sports. So, yeah, Robert Robbins, Go Pack. I hear you, buddy. Good. That's a big pickup for them. I'm wondering how it'll be for Gunner to follow in them footsteps, because he's always going to be compared to his dad. For the day he gets there, he's going to be compared to his dad. So how he handles that is going to have a lot to do with his success there. But good pickup for State. But no football. I had to get a little bit of football here because we're mostly about football, and this was this was the second weekend without football for me. And let me tell you, the first Sunday I was working, so it wasn't so bad. Got home, watched the end of the Daytona 500. This weekend though, off work, and man, when 1 o'clock came, it was like, what the heck am I supposed to do? I did watch the race. I did watch Atlanta. Tyler Reddick gets his second win in a row. Michael Jordan looking like winning races like he won championships in the NBA. So I did see Jordan out there where they went to overtime. Tyler Reddick, his whole front fender was just demolished. I mean, they had to repair the whole front fender. And he was running at overtime in like 8th position. And Jordan was like, if he comes back, that's going to be a hell of a damn driving job right there. But he was like, we'll see. Next thing you know, Tyler Reddick is going across the finish line. Crystal Walston Weaver, just
I might know her.
Giving us a like on Facebook. Brian Mullen, give us a like. Appreciate it, guys. But getting past NASCAR, getting past football, we're going to talk hockey. And this is John Michael's specialty. I'm sure this is his favorite sport. He is a diehard Carolina Hurricanes fan, goes to a lot of the games. But before we get to the NHL, we have to talk about yesterday. Yesterday morning, 8 o'clock starting time. The comment coming here. You might need me, huh? Yeah.
I think by that profile picture you can tell.
Yeah. Anyway, so 8 o'clock yesterday morning, the gold medal game for hockey, men's hockey, which the U.S. women's hockey's already won their gold medal game. They went in overtime as well. And now this is a big, big matchup here. This is the one everybody was looking for. I mean, I know the U.S. team have been saying all along, we want to play Canada in the finals. Canada was without Sidney Crosby, who took himself out because of an injury. So that was one thing with Canada. But Canada, I mean, watching it as somebody that doesn't usually watch it, United States came out, got the first goal. Looks like the United States is going to play aggressive. They were aggressive. But then me and you were texting back and forth. From the second period, halfway through the second period on, it was almost like the USA was playing on their heels. And the aggressor was Canada. Then Canada gets a goal to tie it up in the second. And we're looking at it, we're texting back and forth like, I know one time you said if they keep playing like this, we're going to have trouble.
Yep.
So tell me a little bit about your thoughts of this game. I know we talked a little bit last week about this possible matchup because over the weekend, that's when they ended up getting matched up this way. But tell me a little bit what you thought going into this matchup.
Well, you couldn't have picked a better script. I don't know how many people watched Four Nations last year. You had both these same two teams, essentially the same exact two teams, maybe a player or two here or there, played each other. Um, Mitch Marner wound up scoring the overtime goal for Canada in that one to win the Four Nations. So I know a lot of the guys on the U.S. side were saying, this is our revenge game. We're bringing back gold. The T'Chucks were really big in that. The Quinn Hughes, Jack Hughes, they were all, on board with that. But best on best hockey. The talent that was on the ice, the structure of the game that the world saw. So for people that don't like you that don't necessarily watch hockey, it was entertaining because it's up and down, back and forth. Eventually, the Americans did win, thank God. But at first period, they looked great. Couldn't ask for a better first period. Second period, they came out. Defense was flat. It was almost like they went into a shell of if we don't give up another goal, we win. Unfortunately, that's what ultimately cost them to go into overtime. Third period was all Canada. Um, and even the announcer said, "I feel like if we can just get it to overtime," and that's what happened. They found Connor Hellebuck. Good God.
Yeah,
Um,
41 saves.
I saw something today that said if that man ever has to buy a beer in America again, we're not doing what we're supposed to do as Americans.
Exactly. Um, One of the key points. Let's see. We got a new old friend from Northampton East days. Hellebuck, Christy Helms Burns. Hellebuck stood on his head. That title save was
Absolutely.
unreal. Yeah, I mean there was a couple of times that I don't know how Canada didn't score. But one key moment of that game, and I talked to several people. I talked to my good friend Warren Meredith, who is a Canadian. He's the lead singer for the group Tame and Sorry. Been on the Fly show several times, and we were talking about it yesterday. But one of the key parts of that game, as much as Canada was dominating from this halfway through the second period on, the 5-on-3 when Canada comes away with nothing. They got the 5-on-3 advantage to come away with nothing. That was huge. I mean, because I don't know about you. I was sitting there thinking this is where it's going to get away from us.
But that's been the Americans' calling card this whole tournament. Their penalty kill, I think, went 18 for 18, which
Yeah,
is
they were 100.
unheard of. Unheard of. And that's one of the reasons they went and got Jacob Slavin from the Hurricanes. Jacob Slavin was injured for probably 75% of the first half of the season. So for him to have even made the team shows you, that they knew they were going to have some penalty killing and they were going to have some defense to compete with Canada.
So you go back and it's been played 100 times. Whoops, hold on. Got some feedback. Hold on. All right, that's better. It's been played 100 times at least. I mean, that I've seen. Uh, but the play Jack Hughes, who is now America's sweetheart, all over the place, with teeth missing from the from that freaking terrible blow he took to the face.
Sam
Good
Bennett.
Lord. And he comes across with the game-winning shot in overtime. Because we went into overtime, and I texted you. I said I got a bad feeling about this. But Hughes hits the game-winning shot. I mean, it's one of the and in 46 years to the day where the 1980 team wins the gold medal. That you can't get any better than that. We do have speak of the devil and the devil appeared. Warren Meredith. They kept us to the outside somehow. The entire U.S. defense corps is awesome, Slavin included. So,
I
yeah,
agree. I agree.
yeah.
Plus that deep pairing with Slavin and Brock Faber, Four Nations and the Olympics was remarkable.
If you haven't checked out Warren, Warren's been on the show 4 times. He's about to be in the Five Timers Club. He'll get a jacket and everything. But yeah, that's a joke with me and him. But if you haven't checked out his band Tame and Sorry, check them out on wherever you stream your music at. Check them out. They just came out with a new single, and hopefully we'll have Warren back on the show soon to talk about that and talk about maybe do an album review. That's what we're talking about. But getting back to that, we talked about Hughes, and man, I mean, just looking at him and hearing him after the game when they interviewed him talk about, it's just like I said on my live yesterday. If after this, if you don't love the United States, just get out. Listen to this guy talking about, I love my country. We did this for our country, and I mean, it was a great moment for, and this is one of these moments you'll remember in Olympic history.
And I think probably the best moment for any hockey fan, whether you were American, Swedish, Canadian, whatever nationality you are watching this Olympics, when they brought out Johnny Gaudreau's children,
Yes.
um, and his jersey, that was a very special moment.
And if you don't know, Gaudreau was killed by a drunk driver, and
Him and his
what?
brother.
Yeah, him and his brother. What impressed me about it, and what made it that much more special, these guys just won the gold medal, and it just happened. And they didn't get caught up in that moment. This was something that obviously they had planned, and they remembered it that quick. Let's get the jersey out here. Then, it was a little while later when they took the picture. They got the kids back out there, but they skated his jersey around that ring. And
Well, Goudreau was supposed to be on that team.
yeah,
Goudreau, he wasn't just a hockey player that died. His nickname was Johnny Hockey. Like he was a prodigy. He was supposed to be there. He was one of the core, and then was tragically taken.
yep. And for them to do that, that was special. That's something, another moment that in U.S. Olympic history that you'll remember with the miracle on ice. Uh, you always see that. You always see the carry Scruggs walk, and now with this, I'm pretty sure this will go down in history as one of those special moments as well. So now we get to let me just talk about this, and Warren, you're here. We talked about this. Uh, Canadian hockey player Nathan MacKinnon. You know, you of course you're not happy that you lost, and it's no doubt that Canada for a period and a half was playing better hockey than the United States. But he comes out, makes a comment that night. You be the judge of who was the better team today. And I'm like, okay, sore loser, but guess what? There's a way that they keep up with who played better that day. They keep these things called points, and whoever has the most was the better team that day. So that's all I'm saying. There was no call for that. I know you're upset, and one of the things I thought about this, and me and Warren talked about this as well. He didn't agree with it. He said he should be gracious in defeat, and he's right. You should be gracious in defeat. I would expect that if the U.S. lost, if one of them had said that, I would expect the same out of them. I would have criticized it just like I am right now. But it would have been one thing if you were an NHL team and you made a comment after losing the Stanley Cup. It would have been one thing to say that. But to say it representing your country, to me, that's a little bit worse than as your NHL team, because I don't know. It hit me wrong. And then the coach comes out saying, well, I don't agree with the 3-on-3 deal. I mean, if you'd have won, you'd have never said anything about it. That's the thing. If you're on that, and I mean, it's not like you didn't know this going in. I mean, you knew what they were going to do going in. You knew the rules to this going in. And I understand the 3-on-3. They had the closing ceremonies of the Olympics. They didn't want this hockey game to keep going and pushing back the closing ceremony. So, that there's a lot of talk about that. But just, I mean, Canada played, no doubt, Canada played a great game. You hate to see one team losing that game, because I could watch that game. Not a hockey fan, but I could watch that game. As a matter of fact, I watched it twice Sunday. I watched it again Sunday night. But that's one of those I could watch over and over. Don't ruin it by making some comment like that. I just thought that was in poor taste.
Well, the good thing is he's in 2 years he'll get another shot at the world championship. So
Yeah, that motivates you, dude. I mean, don't now you're giving the other team motivation now to like that. I mean, uh, oh, see, I like it when somebody gets in here. Christy Hales again. Funny how they won in overtime 3 versus 3 multiple times throughout the Olympic tournament to get to the gold medal game. See, that's what
Right.
I'm saying. That's why I said if when they're coming out on the better side of it, they don't say anything. But
Not only that, if you look at Four Nations last year, that was a I believe that was also 3 on 3 because they did Olympic rules and Canada won in overtime.
so don't complain about it when it goes against you. That's all I'd say. Because I mean, it's just like if I'm coaching a team and we go to double overtime and there's you got to go from so whatever yard line in football, you got to go from they move it up and I get beat. I'm not going to complain about it because I knew going in that's the way it was going to be, and he knew going in that's how it was going to be. So uh, you just gotta get over it. Let it motivate you for get ready for the next time you get a shot at the United States. I mean that's
Go
all.
go look at McKinnon when they gave him the stuffed animal.
Oh gosh, the stuffed animal.
I mean, his attitude just from Jump Street was awful.
What was that like the mascot of the Olympics or something? Because
I guess I'm not sure.
I saw that and I was like, why are they giving them stuffed animals right now? And I'm like, ooh. I probably would have had the same look on my face though if I just lost that match and you're out there giving me a freaking stuffed animal. I can't say I blame him there. So now Olympics is over, and this is where I'm going to turn it over to John because guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have a clue about hockey, so I'm gonna get into this hockey a little bit more, and we'll have John on, some more times to talk about, give us updates and what he thinks. But I don't have a clue about hockey like this guy does, or like Warren does. And Warren, be sure to chime in whenever you want to on some of this if you're still out there. But
Yes, please.
second half, Troy Smith, who's going to be on the show tomorrow night. You guys tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, Troy Smith Jr. will be my guest tomorrow night. We'll talk about it was it's been a while ago. Troy was actually my first basketball coach. Uh,
That's back in
and
the day.
way back in the day. Um, and he was the softball coach at Northeast. I think he may have been. It was around my senior year. My senior year out there was '91. Was the first year he coached. So from that point on, I know 10 years. He won 5 state championships with those girls. So, and that doesn't get talked about enough. You don't hear about that. You don't hear Troy's name a lot when you talk about coaches like that. That needs to change. I mean, not many. I know how hard it is to get to a state championship and to win 5. And I don't even know. I think they may have made it to another one. Another maybe one. I don't know for sure. We'll talk about that more. But tune in live tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. We'll have Troy on, and we'll have the link. The link for it's on Facebook, so you can click that link and you'll go right to it, just like you went to John tonight. Christy Hale, evidently a big. Oh, look at her profile picture. She's
Yeah, I'm loving it.
definitely a Hurricanes fan. Time for the Canes to make a run. So, second half of the NHL season. Let's hear your thoughts and what your predictions are for the second half of the year.
Um, First off, if y'all have any questions, please comment them. It's my first time ever doing a podcast, so this is this is different for me. But yeah, the rosters officially unfroze yesterday. Well, yesterday at midnight. So you got that. That's a big thing coming up. It's you got this trade deadline that's March the 6th. So it's kind of a sprint right now, and what happens in hockey is your playoff teams are what we call buyers. Your non-playoff teams are sellers, and what they're going to try to do is sell off assets to get some draft picks. So there's a lot of teams that's out there trying to get some draft capital back for some of these players, and there's some really good players out there. One thing with the Carolina Hurricanes you've got is they need a second line center. One of the guys you saw in the Olympics is rumored to be on the trade block. Vincent Trocheck. He's a very good second line center. Trocheck was with the Carolina Hurricanes for 3 years, I think. Had a great chemistry there with him. So that's something I'm looking for them to do is to bring a second line center. Um, there's more out there. There's gosh, who's out there? You've got Blake Coleman, Nathan Kadri, Jordan Carew, Robert Thomas. There's a bunch of these centers out there that they're talking about moving. So it'll be interesting to see what the Hurricanes do as far as that second line center position because I really think that they're that close to a cup. Um, it's not going to take much.
The Carolinas are on top of their division right now.
Correct.
They've got an 8-point lead over Pitt, uh, tied with Tampa Bay in the East for the most points. And then you look out west, Colorado with 83 points, and then it looks like the Central Division right there's got some strong teams: Colorado, Minnesota, and Dallas.
Yeah, the Central is ridiculous.
Um, but then the Pacific, they're not as doesn't look as strong as the other division. 68 points for Vegas there. So it looks like Carolina's in pretty good shape right now.
It's going to come down to them and Tampa Bay. Is what it's looking like. Thursday night they got a big matchup with Tampa Bay right after the Olympics. We'll see how that goes. But it's looking to be a good season for the Hurricanes if they can keep up the intensity they've had the first half of the season. And that's another thing with this Olympic break is
Uh, this is his first time, guys. There we go. I think he's back. Can you hear me?
sorry, hold on.
It's all right. It's all right. Can you hear me now? He's going to work it out. But Hurricanes, Hurricanes that just have to get over the hump in the playoffs. I know I keep up with them in the playoffs some, but let me. Let's see if we can get John back. I'm trying to work it out with him right now, but hold on, Warren. I'm gonna try to get you straight there too. Maybe John will call me or if he's got having problems. John, you there, bud? You there? Still can't hear me?
All right. Sorry about that.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
So,
My son's about to die to see me on this podcast, and he's trying to get in it. So now he's calling me and bumping me off.
oh, okay. We're gonna. Let me ask you this: would you be all right if I brought Warren in on the chat with us?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
hold up. Warren, get ready, bud. I'm gonna send this to you. So Warren is a big time hockey fan as well. All right, Warren. I just sent you the just click. You know the deal. But Warren is. I'm trying to remember who he said he was a fan of. but it's a Canadian team, of course. So
Toronto, Calgary, Winnipeg.
I think it's Toronto, but I'm not sure, John. But he'll be able to tell you. And you guys will probably take over the whole show talking back and forth here because he is like I said, he's into it just like you are. If he'll see him come on. So, little Dawson, don't be calling your daddy while we're trying to get on the show. You're knocking him off.
He is upset. He can't get it to work right now. So.
Oh, he can't see it.
Nah.
Well, yeah, he'll be able to see it.
That's what I told him. I said I can show it to him on your Facebook or something.
Yeah. All right,
so
here comes
okay.
Warren. Here we go. See if Warren's got his stuff straight. Once I see his face pop up there. And I'll have to change this. I have to go just that.
Oh, hey, there we go.
Check out the background, dude.
Oh, I got a few funny ones for you guys, but this was just the easiest one. Also,
yes.
Freebird.
Wow, okay. You're gonna get shipped out of Canada for doing that, dude. Watch out.
I love it.
Can you hear me? What's he doing?
Well, gotta do what I gotta do. So good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. It rocked the country. We all got up coast to coast. We're all ready. We haven't lost in 19 games at the Olympics, something like that. We're all ready for the crazy game. But let me say this. Hellbuck is always been a Vezina goalie. Season after season after season, that guy wins games. Like, he just stacks wins. And we've been waiting for this performance, like hockey fans in general. Winnipeg Jet fans are like, yeah, we've seen this before. And he is top 3 goalie in the league. It brought us all back to 1998 as hockey fans in Canada when we got goalied by Dominic Hasek at the Olympics. and we lost in the shootout. And as soon as it ended, all the Canadian people were like, oh, the shootout sucks. You can't have the shootout, like that. It was, Brendan Shanahan missed and Wayne Gretzky wasn't chosen to go. And it was all a big kafla, So what I just say is, like, hats off to the Americans. In the past, we had, like, all around, I would say, the best team. Like, we had Patrick Waugh or Martin Brodeur or one of these legendary goalies. And now our goalie was not the best goalie there in the tournament. And now our defense core, we had one of the best defensemen in the league, and then the U.S. had the rest. Like,
but Bennington played good enough to win.
Absolutely. In the end, it's Nathan McKinnon that you guys were talking about.
That misses the open net.
Correct. And his partner Taze, or his team partner, anyways, from Colorado, Taze, he also misses an empty net.
Actually, if you go back and look at that was a standalone save by
with the paddle out.
It hits the paddle.
Yeah, it's very true. It's very true. Again, it's like you get goalied in hockey, and it happens. It happens all the time. But what I think it deserves a series. These teams now deserve a series. Like, they're already in it, like you said. Like, now we're looking to the Worlds. Because they hate each other. Like, those guys do not like each other at all. Like, I'll tell you something else about McKinnon. He makes everyone on Colorado follow a specific diet. Like, he tells his teammates what food to buy and, like, what regimes to do. Like, the dude's a control freak, and he cannot stand losing. He is, like, a top 3. He's a top 3 hockey player in the league.
Oh,
like,
no doubt.
But it's a sore loser because he doesn't lose. He never loses, so he's not used to it. Like, Stanley Cup, like, you name it, the dude normally just doesn't face this. watching the game, we were saying like, wow, like where's the T'Chucks? We were saying, where's the forward group? Dylan Larkin looked good. You know, the forward group for the U.S. who cheered the most, in my opinion, in victory. And hey, Jack Hughes, hats off to him. That's a hell of a shot in OT. I mean, he's the one who does it. Again, we couldn't convert on our overtime, on our breakaways. We had breakaways. We didn't score on them, but the U.S. did.
Well, I mean, one of the things that people aren't talking about enough is that McCarr makes that the 3-on-1. If he wouldn't have made the decision, I'm going to go for it right here, then that we're looking at a whole different story right now.
Yeah. In the 3-on-3, the reason John Cooper doesn't like it, besides losing, which of course is what he mainly doesn't like, but besides that, what he's complaining about is just the fact that it ends up becoming a bunch of 2-on-1 rushes back and forth, and then it's just who breaks first. And to me, it's fine. Like, that's fine. They wanted to end the game, like we said, and both teams agreed to it. Everybody knew it. We won, like you said, 2 games to get here. And yeah. Now, I want to bring something up that's going around the news here and ask your opinion on it.
All right.
So now what they're bringing up is the Brady Tkachuk in the locker room. I'm from Ottawa, so I'm an Ottawa fan. And Brady is our captain. And so Brady is now on camera recorded as saying, close the border to the north or whatever. Oh. There's a video going around where they're celebrating and they're partying all together. And, you know, he's having fun. So now people are saying, also there is the audio of Donald Trump calling and inviting them to the White House. But he says the girls are like, he says something negative about the women's team, about like having to invite them as well. So then today the news comes out that the women's hockey team in the States turns down the invite to go because they're like, yeah, okay, you want us to be a joke and an afterthought. So I just want to think, like, what is your thoughts on that? I mean, I know the New York Rangers want Brady Tkachuk. I'll tell you, though, the Ottawa Senators fans, we love him. 99% of the time, we love that guy as our captain. Canadians hate Matthew Tkachuk. That's not going to change. That guy has gotten under everyone's skin the way he's supposed to, like the way he's getting paid to do. But he's
Brad Marchand, same type player.
Bingo. And so like Matthew's done it. Like he knows how to piss us off, and everyone else on that Canadian team, he's so good at it.
But so, Brady is essentially the same player. You just don't see it because he's with Ottawa.
I agree.
Look at him and Kochekov when Kochekov stopped them on the penalty shot. Like that, but that's their calling card. That's what makes them who they are. But as far as him making that comment, can't you gotta know cameras are everywhere, and you can't say stuff like that, especially when you're the captain of a Canadian club. Like that's just
it hurts.
Yeah.
You know, just because we do like him so much, and like he is a great captain in the community.
I mean, I would love him if he was with the Hurricanes.
Yeah, and he takes care of the fans here. Like he's good to the fans here. He does his charity work. He does his time in Ottawa with the people here. So like we like him beyond just being a good hockey player. So we're excited. Like I want to congratulate him and Sanderson. All of us want to do like huge win, and we know how good they are. I know how good Jake Sanderson is. Like I know on that USD core, he's like probably 4 or 5, maybe. You know,
but look at the decor.
Exactly.
I mean,
Werenski and all those guys are just
Faber, Slavo. I mean,
yeah, so good.
What's
going to push the Hurricanes over? That's what I want to know. Yeah. What pushes the Hurricanes over the edge?
Let's do the comment first, and then we'll go to that.
Sorry.
Troy Smith, love seeing the sad faces on 43 at 63 during the medal ceremony.
Yes.
Hey,
yes.
Warren, let me ask you this though. We and you heard us talk about it a little bit earlier. So if you just lost this game, you got your silver medal, which is nice. but then they come around and give you a freaking stuffed animal. What do you, I mean, what did they expect you to look like? I would have been like, what the heck is this too? I mean,
We talked about this, or I was told you this a little bit before, but like, okay, for McDavid, this is a huge choke.
yeah.
This is a huge for him. This is unacceptable. He was supposed to take the mantle from Crosby, and he was supposed to show us Canadians that he's had what it took to lead that group through and make it happen again. And he failed to. And McKinnon was supposed to be his right-hand man, and he was supposed to help him get this job done. And they did not. They simply could not score another goal. That goal that they did score was a perfect shot. Like Makar's shot on that is perfect.
Beautiful.
You know, but they could not replicate that. They could not get that to happen again. And that's on them. That's the game of hockey. And I told you, like, Wayne Gretzky, he's watching, and the guy has to be proud. He has to be, in a way, proud because American hockey has grown, and now you guys beat us fair and square. And that's the growth of the game. And that's Bill Guerin, and that's Mike Modano, and that's Mike Richter, and all these guys who came before and set the table, and Keith DeChuck. Look at the kids of the American players. How many of these American NHLers had kids who are now way better than their dads?
Go
Like
Canes.
Sanderson.
Looks like my son did get was able to get on. But yeah, I mean, it's that's the game that you saw in the gold medal game is the game you want the world to see when you're trying to recruit new fans of hockey.
Oh yeah.
I agree. I agree.
The product that they put out was unbelievable.
Yeah.
But when you talk about the Tchucks, look at Dylan Larkin. Dylan Larkin is now the fourth member of his family to receive a gold medal with the USA. I mean, and what was it? His great uncle and his granddad, and then I want to say his uncle, all three won gold with U.S. hockey.
So let me ask you guys this too. You talk about. Let me get this comment out. Christy Burns, she's just going to lighten us up tonight. Good job. I appreciate it. It was really hard to pull for the.
Yes.
That's
I mean,
interesting.
it as a Canes fan, it goes against every grain of your makeup. Like,
Interesting. Because, gosh.
My question, and I know, I mean, I'm pretty sure neither one of you or Warren may have been alive back then. I don't know. I know John Michael wasn't. The Miracle on Ice deal. You talk about this game being the game you want people to see to get, the world to watch hockey. What happened with the 1980 team? Well, I mean, as far as especially with the United States, because you go a 46-year drought between that and gold medal. You would think after a big win like that, and the story of that would get more USA people to want to play hockey. Hey, look, you see what they did? They're fired up. They want to go play hockey. Warren, you look like you know the answer to that, right? What's your thought on that?
That was a fantastic underdog story, where one team shouldn't have really been in the game, but it was a miracle on ice in a way. This is different. This time we had two teams of full NHL rosters. Let's, be fair here. And both teams stacked with captains, stacked with leadership, stacked with goals. And honestly, fantastic teams all throughout this tournament. Like every team I thought was really fun to watch. But it just shows you how, I told you earlier, when we are kids in Canada, we eat, sleep hockey. There would be no sports media in Canada without hockey. There just wouldn't be. The CFL football wouldn't be enough. Everything is based on the NHL hockey games here. And people are obsessed with it. The Toronto media, you see how all the guys were saying they're making a big deal to the media about how Austin Matthews is a leader and he won something now. That's because the Toronto media is brutal. They are brutal. I can tell you firsthand that like the media here is hockey obsessed, and
worse than New York media by far.
Yeah, they're obsessed here with it, and it's like they eat, sleep, breathe it. They're looking for these storylines, and like I don't know. I guess it's like you said about football. It's like how the NFL is in the States for a lot of people. It's similar to that here, and so we have this legacy, this story where Gordie Howe passed the torch to Wayne Gretzky, and Wayne Gretzky goes, says, "I'm not going to be 9, I'm going to be 99." And then Gretzky passes it kind of on to Mario Lemieux, who passes it on to Crosby. And now Crosby allegedly passed it on to McDavid. The problem with that is McDavid has won nothing. And he is not set up this storyline to continue in this way, but he is the most exciting guy to watch. You have to give him that. He's super exciting to watch.
No doubt.
Like super exciting to watch. But
like you said, he hasn't led any team he's been a part of to anything. Look at Edmonton.
That's right. And he's been there 2 years in a row, and Matthew Tkachuk lives in his head rent-free, telling him just like Tkachuk told Draisaitl, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. That's what he told Draisaitl when he played Germany. And I was like, oh, that's cruel.
But to your point, Stevie, I think the 1980 team is why you have a team now that can go toe-to-toe with Canada, who went toe-to-toe with them at the Four Nations last year, lost in overtime, who went toe-to-toe with them, happened to win in overtime at the Olympics. That 1980 team started a movement in the States of, okay, this hockey game is pretty cool. It might be something I'm interested in. So you may not have had that direct 20-year, the athletes that are their children, but look at the grandchildren who are now, we've built a hockey system here. We've got hockey rec leagues in the States now, which we used to not have.
It became a culture. It became a culture where the men from the NHL, they put their children through crazy camps and the best schools and everything. And their kids came out like Jake Sanderson is a better skater than his dad. And his dad was the best skater in the NHL, probably. And he excels past his own father. And look at the Tkachuks. Both of them excel past their father. And you can go down the line of American-born players. It's culture. And I was telling Stevie, it used to be you put your kids in the major junior hockey league here in Canada. And now it's NCAA. It's switching more and more, get your kids into the NCAA. And so it's the culture all just changing. And we needed American TV hockey rights to continue the game of NHL success. Like, if we don't get the American hockey rights, the game ends. So, we know we need America to be a big player in this. I think the tournament misses Russia, and I know that
very much so.
I know that politically it's juju. They're not in the best place there, I guess to say, but whatever. Hockey wise, we miss them.
But the team they would have,
right?
The team they would have.
They're definitely a top 3. They make it so crazy. Then where Sweden and Finland fit. And the Czechs and everybody, it's like it changes the whole dynamic. So we miss them.
So what do you see as far as this trade deadline that's looming on March 6th?
So Western Conference, pretty predictable. Most of those teams, we know if they're in the playoffs or out.
Right.
They can safely predict. But let's say, for the example, the Ottawa Senators, if they were to go on a 5-game run, maybe they make the playoffs. Maybe they put themselves in position. But if they lose 2 more games, if they lose the next 2, they're probably out. And you have maybe 6 teams in the East that feel this way, that are all just jam-packed. So it's really unpredictable. What will those teams in the Eastern Conference do? Are they going to bet to make it, or are they going to unload their players? And teams like Ottawa, again, what is Brady expecting? Is he expecting to come back and have an all-in push? I don't know.
Look at teams like Nashville. Right on the line, got a Stamkos. that could easily be dealt.
Yeah,
But
I would. I personally, if I was Nashville, I would rebuild.
no
Personally.
doubt, no doubt.
Yeah. I think it's
So
their time to.
Christy Hillsburg is another company. Really, hockey really growing in the South now too, thanks to the Canes, Panthers, and Tampa Bay. That's
Yes.
a good point. Yeah,
Hell
those
yeah.
teams right there. That's making hockey.
and
big time in
I
the
mean,
South.
even hearing the players comment, Carolina's outdoor game was one of the best outdoor games that there has been.
Yeah.
That was legit a show put on by Raleigh.
Carolina's a scary team, man. They're a scary, scary team. If they just figure out like one thing that pushes them over the edge,
And
they
that's
are
what I was
gonna
telling
win.
him earlier. That second line center, if we could get a Trocheck in there,
They're so close.
you're right there
So
knocking
close.
on the door.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Kind of like the Dallas Stars, though, in the West. Both
Yeah,
teams,
yeah.
to me, are just like right there, and they just have to push a little bit more, and they could do it for sure.
And I think now things have opened up a lot because Colorado's not the juggernaut we thought they were. You know, they went on this massive run to start the season, and now they've just tanked it. Like they're not even a 500 hockey club over the last month of the season. So
Yeah.
I think things are going to get really interesting here.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, big player movement. I don't know. It's so with these contracts, it's hard to imagine. But these GMs have plans. Sometimes they do 3-player or 3-team trades to make it work out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
They
and
have
the
to get
names
creative.
that are on the trade list or on the block: Gavrikov, Trocheck, Malkin, Coleman, Kadri, Lundberg, Mackenzie Weegar. Like these are big name players.
And they could make an impact in the playoffs, especially a Malkin. If you're able to bring a Malkin in for the playoffs and he's healthy, wow, you just added a great asset to your playoff run. And you
But
mentioned
you
some
just
other
put the biggest thing with him if he's healthy.
right, exactly if he's healthy. But I mean, it's God, I love it, and obviously you do too. So that's amazing to see. Like,
Dude, I eat, sleep, and breathe Hurricanes hockey. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, he definitely does.
I gotta say, Stevie can tell you.
I hear it about it every day at work.
Now,
awesome.
this is something I want to hear from a Canadian perspective. What do you think about Brandon Bussey?
Awesome. I mean, I think he paid his dues. There's a few goalies we might see like him in the next year or two who have been paying their dues, and it's really hard to get one of these spots in the NHL.
Yeah.
But right now there might be a couple opening up. We saw Busey get his chance, and he grabbed it. He said, "These guys are playing defensive structured hockey. I need to know where to be at certain points positionally, and I should be good. There's not going to be rebounds. I'm not going to have second and third chances on me. It's just not going to happen with this team, at least not very often. So if you're square to the puck and you know your angles and you know your reads, you have a good chance to be a good goalie on a team like Carolina." And that's what he did. And it's kind of like in Ottawa, we've been begging for a goalie all season to just be basic. Just play 89%. Just play 90%.
Well, I think you've got one now in Reimer.
Exactly. He helps. The dude
Optimus
helps a lot.
Rhyme. I mean, you can't go wrong there.
Good guy. He's a good guy for the locker room too, with his experience.
My son actually has a picture with him, and he's awesome.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as Bussy, I pulled some stats today, and I mean, you're looking at Andrei Vasilevsky has a 920 save percentage. He's 27-7. Then you have Brandon Bussey with a 908 save percentage, 23-3.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you talk about goalies, Vasilevsky's, the gold standard. So you look at a guy you claimed off waivers from Florida at the beginning of the season, who wasn't even supposed to really crack your roster except for any injuries. and now he's your number one goalie up there with Andre Vasilevsky. Now, whether this slipper falls off or we can keep Cinderella going a little while longer, that remains to be seen. But for what he's done for Carolina to get them here with the Kachekov injury, with Freddie Anderson being Freddie Anderson, and you not know from one day to the next what you're going to get. 5-hole Freddie I mean, I love the guy to death.
Yeah.
He's a likable guy, but
He played
holy
his
crap,
best
he
hockey.
cannot be consistent to save his life.
Consistency. That's the big thing with goalies, and whether they can have a long-term career or not. Like, can they consistently do between 8-9 and 9-2, and
Yeah.
can they get closer to that 9-2 than the 8-9? It's really wild that it's like that. But we had it with the Hamburglar was what we called him here in Ottawa, where he went on a 24 game or 20 some game win streak. And so we called him a Hamburglar because they were giving out free hamburgers every time he got a shutout. McDonald's was. So then what happened was people were throwing the hamburgers on the ice.
Oh wow!
And the players would pick, one of the players, the rookies, like picked the hamburger up off the ice and like took a bite out of it, and like it was a big ha-ha moment. But his didn't last. He got traded and he played a little bit in the NHL after that, and he fizzled out. But I don't think that will be for Busey because he's put a lot of work in, and he seems like, again, you'll hear Reimer say it like when he came to Ottawa, and he was just talking about, I have to make my reads, I have to have my angles right, and I'm pretty sure this defense core after that is not going to allow second chances. And that was like with the U.S. game with the Olympics, to bring it back. Where was the second chances? I didn't see any. We couldn't get a rebound. We could not get a second jam at that puck. Every time we were pushed off it or kept out to the outside.
Well, so, I know I'm a little biased, but that's Jacob Slavin doing Jacob Slavin things. Like, I watch this man on a nightly basis make the plays he's making on an Olympic level, and everybody's going, oh my God, that's the greatest play ever. I'm like, he literally does that every night. So, yeah, no. I mean, Jacob Slavin is by far, in my opinion, next to Brzezinski, one of the greatest defensemen there is right now. When you look at Zach, though, I mean, he's got that offensive dynamic that's just ungodly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you put him like, I would say Quinn Hughes is the best U.S. defenseman. Do you think he maybe he's even better than Quinn?
I'd say they're neck and neck. Now, if we're just talking defensively, to me, Jacob's better.
Okay, yeah.
If you're talking a rounded game of chipping in on the offense, then Quinn's better.
Both incredible. And then you go like, where's Werenski fit? And then again, like I said, you've got Jake Sanderson, who I think it's like in Ottawa, we love him.
Such a great skater, and probably, in my opinion, one of the most underrated defensemen in the National Hockey League. And another guy we used to have that's really good, who now, since he left Carolina, has done nothing, has been Dougie Hamilton. That guy was a matchup nightmare when he was with the Kings, and he went to, what did he go to, New Jersey, I think? Yeah, he went to the Devils, and then you've heard nothing.
Yeah, no, and they're trying to get rid of him, or he's asked for a trade or whatever.
Well, no, they're trying to put him on the block, and it was funny because I was reading this article the other day, and it was some off the wall sports article. And they were talking about, the Canes are interested in Dougie Hamilton. I'm like, why? We have the best decor in the National Hockey League. Why would we need another defenseman? I mean, Mike Riley, who would make your top six pair in probably 90% of hockey clubs, is our extra D-man. So.
Yeah, the Carolina team is stacked. Like I was saying, I do think you guys are one piece away, and I think last year with the Rantanen move, that was like really gutsy. And if it had worked, you got a great player out of it still. You still got a really great
I think we got
prospect
two
there.
great players out of it.
Yes, you did.
I mean, you got Taylor Hall and Stankoven out of it.
Yeah.
And throw
Yep.
in Jankowski, which I'd really like to see them move on from Kokanami.
Well,
Go ahead and
I'm gonna have to bring Christy Burns in here with you guys because she said they just extended Nikisha.
yes, they did. They extended Nikishin 3 years. I forget the exact term,
She's
but
lighting it up
yes,
in here with you guys. I'm gonna have to bring her on.
bring her on.
We're gonna have a round table discussion in here.
but yeah,
Absolutely. What else are going to be the big trade deadline moves? I mean, yeah, it's how much dismantled Pittsburgh will be. Like, will they really tear Pittsburgh apart? Will Crosby change his mind? I don't think so.
no, Crosby's not going nowhere.
I don't think he'll leave.
If anybody leaves Pittsburgh, it's going to be Malkin.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and I could see that. I could. In the West,
I was surprised they dealt the bread man as quick as they did, Artemi Panarin. I didn't see that deal getting done before the trade deadline. I mean, before the roster freeze, and I definitely didn't see it before a Vincent Trocheck. But I mean, I guess LA figured that was their one player they were short, and they went after it.
yeah, he's a game changer. He could definitely break it wide open and score that goal that you need to win in the playoffs. Kemper has to play like he did when he played for Washington in the playoffs, and if he does that, then yeah, they have a good chance because of how much defense they play. Like, they're very good. Same as Carolina in the same way, where it's a defense first perspective and counter attack.
But
Make the other team pay.
Carolina's in a lot of ways like Team USA. You know, when Team USA, when it was 1-1, what did they do? They went to a dump and grind game.
Yes.
And that's Carolina's bread and butter. We're going to dump it in. We're going to grind. We're going to outwork you. Yeah. And we're going to score the dirty goals that nobody wants to get in there and score.
Yep.
And that's their calling card. That's a Rod Brindamore system, who in his day, the forecheck was Rod Brindamore.
Absolutely. And they know how to forecheck better than anybody and turn pucks over and play board hockey, get on the boards and turn that puck over, which is, it's very admirable.
It might not be the sexy hockey you see at the Olympics, but it's going to be some, to bring it into Stevie's terms, some in the trenches, get down, O-line, D-line type game.
Yep, definitely. Yep.
Yeah, that's the kind of terms I like right there. Getting in the trenches, boy. Yeah. So if you guys right now, and I mean, you guys are the hockey experts, not me. I know who I want to see win it, but if you're making a prediction right now of the two teams at the end right now, the Stanley Cup Finals, who you guys going with?
Washington's had a hell of a run in the East as well. They look like they're going to be interesting. I don't foresee any Canadian team. Maybe we won't even make the playoffs this year, any of them besides Edmonton. We'll see. But it's hard to predict. I mean, Canes have a great chance. Stars have a great chance in the West. Colorado, once they get in the playoffs, like you said, right now they suck. It's hard to keep it going, the excitement all year, keep that trend going. But I think once Colorado hits the playoffs, they become dangerous again. Kings also look dangerous in the West. So
plus we don't know how Panarin's going to shake out as far as chemistry wise with that group. So
yeah, it's hard to tell who's gonna win this year.
I would say my final would be Canes, obviously, and Wild.
Oh, yeah, of course. Wild,
I
great
can't.
pick.
Canes and Wild, and I'd say Canes in 6.
Oh wow, he get right
Wow.
down
Well, I mean, if that's a well-deserved cup. If they get to the finals and they beat the Wild in 6, that's a well-deserved cup because that Wild team is stacked. I don't know.
They're and everybody's sleeping on them.
Yeah,
They're not getting the attention that a Colorado or Dallas is getting, and
every year they get eliminated by Colorado. So if they beat that one demon, then they can go. I mean, at the start of the year, they were already like a great team, but
and
now
and I'll say
Kaprizov.
this in front of everybody. If the Canes for some reason get eliminated, I'm gonna be pulling for Colorado. They've got two of my favorite former Hurricanes in Marty Natchez and Brent Burns, who is one of my favorite all time Canes. I'm pulling for them if it goes that way.
Yeah,
Hopefully not. Hopefully I'm at a parade in Raleigh, the day after Stanley Cup. But I mean that's
we we got a comedian in here tonight. One of my co-hosts of my sports objective podcast. My three favorite hockey players of all time: Wade Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, Jason Voorhees.
right.
Yeah, you can't pick against Jason. He's always coming
Nah.
back. Good. So, thanks, Kyle. I appreciate that, brother. So,
Did popularize that mask, but I mean, goalies back then were nuts. I mean, the goalies
Yeah.
you hear about like Jacques Plante, who had like 93 stitches all over his face
well, dude,
because he didn't.
the ones back then, the guys back then played without helmets. I mean,
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
the Jason Voorhees mask was like a big improvement for for hockey. It was
I
like
mean,
that was a big
Crazy.
deal.
yeah,
crazy.
it was a big change. But that's the thing about hockey. It kept evolving, eh? Like it hasn't been the same game. Even from the 80s till now, it's changed. There's no more wooden sticks.
No.
Yeah.
When
I
I
mean,
was
look
a
at your
kid-
scoring.
Yes. Look at the goalie equipment. It's the systems as well. It's like I was saying to Stevie about Wayne Gretzky. What he says is, hockey is great, but it's lost some of its creativity, and that's okay though because all these people are incredibly skilled, and they have to play a system to win because that's the truth of it. It's not just some skilled game.
Oh wow.
Oh
I
yeah,
did not know
definitely.
that. I knew that he was gonna miss some time, but yeah, that makes Dallas a lot less dangerous.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Isn't he the
And,
guy that
and
came
as
from
a
Carolina?
as a Hurricane, I'm sorry for him.
That's the one y'all traded, right?
Yeah, we had to because he wouldn't sign a long term
Yeah,
deal.
that's right.
Players who don't want to stay, it's the worst. It's as a fan, it's just so crappy. I mean, I remember we brought DeBrincat into Ottawa, and it was like he had no interest in being here, like
Yeah.
zero interest. He's like, I don't want to be here. I want to be in Detroit with with.
Well,
me,
I
Kane."
think the Canes' hopes were so high on Rantanen because of his playing ability, number one. But I think they felt like the friendship that him and Aho had would translate into him signing that long term deal, which didn't happen. Which in hindsight, I'm glad.
Yeah, yeah, it would have been a pretty big deal. I would think a lot of money for sure.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's the other thing. We're about to see contracts go way up probably because of the
Oh, yeah.
Kaprizov deal in Minnesota. 17 million a season or whatever. That's like $4 or $5 million more than McDavid. He took one final team friendly deal to try and win in Edmonton one or two more times, I think. But the next deal he signs will be 20 million. He will,
I
who
mean,
knows?
he's a choke artist. I'm sorry, he is.
I
An
agree.
incredibly skilled player. Probably one of the most skilled players to ever play the game of hockey. But he cannot lead and he cannot play as a team. He
I agree.
is a 3-on-3 street hockey guru. But when it comes to the team game and to making your game fit in the system, he's not there.
I agree. He hasn't won, and it is starting to catch up to him, and it's going to really eat at him, I think, because that roster of Canadian players pretty much all have a Stanley Cup. He might be the only one on that team that didn't have one. You know, you got Marchand,
and should.
right? You Sam Bennett, Marchand, those guys got
Oh,
like 2
God.
or 3 cups apiece, like they all do. He was one of the outliers, and yet he's their captain. He's going to lead them into battle here. And no, he didn't get the job done. He should have scored at least 1 goal, and then he has to accept being the tournament MVP. Well, you got shut down in the game that mattered. Like in the game that mattered, you were shut down.
I don't understand how he gets the tournament MVP with the game Hellebuck had.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, Hellebuck, you look at his body of work was great within itself. But then you take that gold medal game where he did everything but stand on his head and won his team the game and doesn't get MVP.
I agree with you. I think, and also McDavid might agree with you. That's the other part about that. You know, I've been in tournaments. I told Stevie as a kid where I was a goalie and played 3 games in a round robin, and you know, let in 1 goal and out of 3 games, and you're the MVP. And that's the greatest part about being a goalie, is you have the chance to impact that game and shut down an entire team. You have that opportunity, and great goalies do it. And in the past, Canada has had all around probably the best team. That was not the case here. You had, like I said, Cale Makar is a superstar. The rest of that decor, suspect. Not as good as the American decor. You go to the goaltending, all 3 American goalies are better than the Canadian options, in my opinion. Not that the Canadian goalies are bad. They're just not as good as the American goalies.
So what was your take on Jarvis and Bennett when they were the injured selections?
Not good enough. Like they didn't play well enough in that game for sure. Like the depth didn't come through like it did in the previous game for us. In the previous game where we made it through, it was like Marner and can't remember who else scored in that game, but it was more of a depth player. And even our depth was not able to get it done, was not able to get a goal. I was expecting more of a dirty approach, to be honest with you. I thought at some point we were going to see the Canadians go to the front of the net more and try and knock Hellebuck around. I think in an NHL game, that's definitely what you would have seen. And you would have seen the mitts dropped a couple of times. Just because there was so much frustration. Like Hellebuck frustrated them so badly.
And I think the only reason you didn't is because of the automatic disqualification in Olympic play.
We're supposed to be more gentlemanly. But, you know, in an NHL game, I think you would have seen a little bit more of that
pushback.
Yeah, physicality in the crease, and maybe a goal that could have even been called back because of goaltender interference. Like we could have seen even to that length. I thought for sure we would have seen Bennett or Marchand kind of run the goalie a bit.
I was really surprised Marchand wasn't in there. It was a very clean game for Hellebuck. He faced a lot of shots, but he faced a lot of clean shots.
Yes, and not second chances, right? There was no second chances. And Bennington, he did a great job. One thing he did great was stopping up the puck behind the net, stopping and controlling the puck and allowing his defense to exit the zone quickly. It was like a huge part where the U.S. was doing the dump and chase. They were doing the hard work, but Bennington was ready. And that was one area he really helped helped Team Canada where they were in the dominant phase or whatever you want to call it. But even in the NHL, it's the same thing. You can have all the statistics dominated in the world, but Stevie, it's the final score that matters. It's not anything else that matters in the end. And all those players on Canada know that. That being said, they hate some of those American players. Because they've grown up together. A lot of these guys grew up together. They played at tournaments against each other for years.
Juniors, they were playing against each other and with each other.
Exactly.
I mean, World
Exactly.
Juniors. You got they grew up together.
Yeah, and you can see it. And that American team, what I love about it is they grew up together so much so. Like those
Yeah.
families are tight. The Hughes brothers, the Chucks. Like I said about the culture thing, it's like they built a culture of like elite hockey in the States. It wasn't just like everybody joining in. It was like the elite players saying, we're going to create even more elite players. And then their families are all friends and help each other build it up together. And it worked. It definitely worked. Like, I know, like I said, the American players weren't as noticeable, the forwards, as maybe they are on their NHL teams. Trocheck was quite noticeable, which I found interesting. That's the grinders really were noticeable because they were taking it to us and keeping that game honest in their own zone. But what do you think about Tom Wilson? Come on, you had to like that.
I
that
can't stand the man.
I
have a picture that I took of Tom Wilson on one knee, and this was at a Hurricanes preseason game where I actually had glass seats. But Tom Wilson's on one knee, and the ref happens to be standing behind him. So you can imagine what it looked like for Tom Wilson. But that is my view of Tom Wilson. I cannot stand the man. There's very few athletes in this world that I absolutely hate, and him and Marchand are tied for number one.
See, there you go. See, so the Chucks are warranted. They can exist because there you go. You just named two Canadian players who definitely pissed the hell out of a lot of people. And Wilson would not have been at that tournament if the Chucks did not drop the gloves at Four Nations. At Four Nations, the Chucks and all the Americans who fought and laid down the physical line, after that, they were on the phone with Tom Wilson. And they were like, yo, you have to come because the Americans can beat us up now.
Well, now I will say this, even though and this is one thing about me as a person, even though I hate somebody, I'm going to give you the good. He was one of the best Canadians at that tournament. I mean, he had a very strong showing. Even though I hate the man, can't stand him.
Yeah.
He was effective. I thought the hits he laid were good hits, and they weren't like he was searching just to be physical. He made his hits physical, but he made them within the flow of the game.
Yes. And Macklin Celebrini, he's another player who we set up to get one of the big goals in that game. We set him up so many times, and he could not get it done. And they wanted the storyline of, oh, he's the next Crosby. He's the next one in this generation. He didn't get it done. He's not the next great one. He's a very good player, but they set him up.
Great player, but he's going to be a McDavid.
Yeah, he didn't get it done. He honestly had great chances in the slot. They tried to set him up like 3-4 times. I was yelling at the TV, stop setting up Celebrini. Put someone else in that bumper slot, but they didn't. And that's the other thing. John Cooper gave the Canadian team too much freedom, in my opinion. He told them, in a way, do whatever you want here. The goal's going to come. The goal's going to come. As long as you outwork them, the goal's going to come. At some point, he needed to stop, call a timeout, and say, the goal's not coming. We need assistant coaches. We need a plan of attack. How do we get a goal? Instead of just relying on the players to magically make it happen. They left a little bit up to fate, too much so, in my opinion, in that way. And Canadians will bicker about this for a long time. We'll argue about this. Americans be happy, that
nothing as an American hockey fan makes me happier than to hear Canadians bicker.
Oh yes. The sports media in Toronto will go nuts. Even here in Ottawa, it's going to be nuts because of Brady Tkachuk and Austin Matthews. They're both coming back to their Canadian teams to be the captain. And what's it going to be like for Austin Matthews in Toronto, right? We better not boo them. I don't want to see it. I don't.
No,
I don't like that. Booing a player for representing their nation, I don't like it.
No.
No.
Not one bit, you know. And even when they were booing, when the Trump stuff was going on, I thought it was really funny. And I was at some games where the booing happened, to be honest with you. And it just, I laughed. It's humorous. But all I can say is Canadians are hurt. That's all that I told Stevie. There's Canadians up here. All I can say is they're hurt. We just feel like we're the little brother. And we just feel like we've been pushed aside. And someone said, You're not the little brother. You're not even our family. Get out of here. Go. Get out of here. You know what? You mooch off of us. And so the Canadians are just a little bit butthurt right now. I'm not going to lie. I mean, you look at Vegas, there's like 4 casinos there that are willing to treat our dollar as equal to American to try and get us to go play there right now. So, yeah. And the Canadian dollar is like 30 cents less than the American dollar. And they're offering that because both Canadians right now are willing to go there. And it's just, they're hurt. Like I was saying to Stevie, like my grandmother, she was a snowbird. So she lived 5 months in Florida, 7 months in Canada. And I don't know, I've been as much American as Canadian in many ways. That. She lived there for 20 years that way. And my grandfather fought the communists. He went and fought the commies in Korea. And so Canadians are just like, word I guess. That's all. It added to this. It adds to this.
Yeah.
Law. It makes
that's gonna make Worlds that much better, Nick, in 2 years.
I think so too. They need
scores 1-1 going into the Worlds.
Hell yeah. And like as soon as the Russians get back into this, it becomes really chaotic in the hockey world because they're a whole other story. Their goalies are wild. Their goalies are all wild good right now, which is everyone's trying to copy the Russian goaltending format, which is which is weird, but I get it. They're all really good.
They're amazing.
Yeah, like you look at Shesterkin or Vasilevsky, Sorokin, the Islanders. There's more. They're really good.
Kochekov.
Yes. Yep. And the guy who's Schmid, Akira, and or is that?
Yep.
Maybe that.
Yep. I know.
There's a lot of them that are very good, and so when they get back into the, of course, the Stanley Cup champ the last 2 years, Bobrovsky.
How do we leave him out?
Yeah, and that Florida team, that's a team I would put up against one of those Olympic squads.
Like they are a severe disappointment this year.
Right? But how do you keep it up? How do you keep that energy? How do you keep that elite performance going past 2 years? I don't know. And in today's world, like it's hard to do. It's the league's too competitive. It's so competitive. Yeah. Like you look at the East now, there's just nothing separating the teams. It's just a couple points here, a couple points there. The East is so much a parody of itself now. Everybody is the same, it would seem.
I'm ready to get this second half of the season started up Wednesday night.
Woo. Gonna be good.
All right. Before we get out of here, there's one thing we got left to do. Warren, you've been through the 2-minute drill before on the show, but John Michael has not been through the 2-minute drill. He's a first timer. Like I said, and I'll put the jacket in the mail, the 5-timers jacket in the mail, because this is the 5th time Warren's been on the show between On the Fly and the Final Score. So
I'm just a Canadian. It's okay. I understand. It's all right.
There's only two people that have been on the show 5 times, and Warren's one of them. And we definitely appreciate Warren coming on, and hopefully when we make it 6, he'll come on the Fly soon to talk about some new music from Tame the Sorry. Like I said, guys, if you haven't checked them out, check them out wherever you stream your music at, and then check them out with. You still got TameandSorry.com?
TamingSorryBand.com, I think will take you to the thing. But even if you just Google Taming Sorry, even if you just Google us, you'll find us probably.
What's the name of the new single too? By the way, go ahead and get
called Tea and Honey, because at the time I'd lost my voice in studio, and I was trying to recover it with Tea and Honey. So I kind of just wrote the song at the time, and then you put a little double entendre on it, a little sex here, a little sex there, a little rock and roll, and away you go, right? But of course, I love Southern rock.
Oh yeah.
Everybody in
Free
Canada
bird,
loves.
baby.
We love America. Let me just finish the Canadian thought there. We fucking love America. That's right. I said the F-bomb. Yes, your president pisses us off, but he's pissing off the whole world. So what's it really matter, right? He's
Yeah.
shaking things up. I get it. And I think we actually get it up here. We're ready to boogie and do whatever, but like, we love you guys. We still love you guys. Everyone I know does. We just, like I said, we feel, if anything, we're like, ow, oh God, don't leave us alone. But yeah, thanks so much, Stevie. Thanks, John. And
Stick around for a minute, so you can get this 2-minute drill that you hear John's thoughts.
Okay.
All right.
And feel free to get my number from Stevie, and anytime you want to talk hockey, man, I'm ready.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Yeah,
I'll add you on Facebook for sure.
Yeah,
We're on
sounds
whatever,
good.
whatever
guys,
app we're on.
Yeah, definitely check out Tame and Sorry, guys. I got the one. I'm a vinyl collector. I've got my Tame and Sorry vinyl over here. So and I would have to sport my shirt next time. So, but Warren's good guy. He was the first live interview I did on video. That's a story for another. We'll tell you the story about that some other time. But John, clear your head, dude. 2-minute drill coming.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Clock starts now. Coke or Pepsi?
Pepsi.
Beach or lake?
Beach.
Favorite sports team?
Hurricanes.
Favorite meal?
Steak and baked potato.
Favorite movie?
Varsity Blues.
Rest in peace, John Moxon. Favorite first sporting event you ever went to live?
I want to say it was like a UNC basketball game.
Okay. Favorite TV show?
Sanford and Son.
Favorite music group or artist? And you're supposed to say Warren Meredith, Tame and Sorry.
I gotta say Tame and Sorry.
Hey, yeah.
He's
Let's
never
go.
listened to him, but he's gonna say it. No, seriously, who would you
Give me
pick?
a real one.
Probably Cody Johnson.
Cody Johnson. Okay. Favorite athlete?
Favorite athlete? Cam Ward.
All right. First concert you ever went to?
Ooh. Maybe Garth Brooks.
Oh wow, I didn't know you were going to pick one. And last but not least, your favorite sports memory?
06 Cup.
06 Cup. Yeah.
I love Garth Brooks.
Yes.
Who doesn't love Garth Brooks? And who doesn't love that genre of country music with Alan Jackson and Brooks and Dunn and all those legends? That's my country music. I don't like
90s, baby.
We need to see a Tame and Sorry Garth Brooks cover.
Oh, God.
Of the Thunder Rolls.
Fun.
You
That'd be
guys rock that out.
There was actually a rock cover of that. Gosh, I can't remember who did it, but it was actually better than the original. I know that's hard to believe, but it was pretty good.
All right, so 2-minute drill's over. I guess you scored, but like I said, guys, this has been NHL Talk with Warren and John. I've enjoyed it, guys, and I'm going to make a concerted effort to watch more NHL to keep up with it. And by this time, the start of the next NHL season, I'll be just as big as an expert as Warren and John. I can name all these names, but so
I don't
John,
know, man. My Canadian pride is not gonna
let me do that.
No way. You're not gonna know more than me. Come on. No, I'm just joking.
We would have some football talk, but I know John doesn't want to talk about football.
I don't know nothing about
easy.
football. That's for sure.
Warren, you don't have a favorite NFL team?
No, I don't.
Minnesota Vikings.
No,
Yeah.
don't do that. Don't be a
Yeah.
glutton for punishment.
This is the thing is I it used to be the Raiders you couldn't cheer for. I don't know anymore who it is. The Bills, I think, as well. You're not supposed to, is kind of supposed to be a waste of your time.
Just just an update too, Stevie. 74-70 with 51.4 left. Carolina's up.
Okay, so Carolina beating Louisville right now with 51 seconds left. But before we get out of here, I have to throw a shout out Powerade. Powerade, you're going to be a sponsor of this show.
Official drink at the final score.
Extra sour.
The unofficial drink.
Yeah, the unofficial drink. I'm going to get there one day, Warren.
We need a big label, the unofficial drink of the last.
Yeah, we're going to get there one day and make this the official.
I love
drink
it.
of the
I
final
love it.
Powerade extra sour green apple. So that's the drink of the night tonight. But John knows I drink. That's pretty much all I drink it
All day, every day.
So it's good. It's good for you. Anyway, gotta throw shout out to everybody that commented tonight. Christy Burns, probably the commenter of the night. Definitely the commenter of the night. James Pope, Robert Robbins, Crystal something.
Walston Weaver, my beautiful girlfriend.
Yeah, you better say it. Troy Smith, who we'll have on tomorrow night. We'll be talking to him. Carrie Cutchin fought with Dawson. Throw out to the D-Man out there.
D-Man.
Appreciate you tuning in tonight. And, we had 8 live. Mark Sager, Anthony Skinner, Rob Myers, Christy Hillsburg, Carrie Cutchin Fox, Alice Warren. Who's that, John?
That would be my mother.
Crystal Walston Weaver and Brian Mullen. So we appreciate you guys. We had a good crowd in here tonight. Appreciate you joining in, Warren.
Hey, Stevie, thanks for letting me, come in and take your airtime.
Anytime, dude. Because look, you guys talked about it because I was like, I will not know anything about this NHL stuff. So it was good to get you two to talk about it because I know how much you two both love NHL. John, you got through your first one. Now we got to get to the second one.
Well, we'll get another one, me and Warren, and sometime in the future.
Oh yeah.
Find out what happened at the trade deadline.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. A couple of weeks from now, we need to get back in here and see how everything worked out.
I'm definitely game for it. Just let me know.
Yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll around the time of the playoffs, we'll do another one. So keep that on your calendar, both of your calendars, okay?
Got it.
All right, guys. Like I said, thanks to John and thanks to Warren and all you guys commenting, and we will see you tomorrow night, 8:00 live with Troy Smith Jr. right here, same Final Score time, same Final Score channel. So you guys have a great week. We'll see you tomorrow night.